Now that we already have the extrinsic, the header, and the block types defined, we will start to implement in our runtime the call, the dispatch call. So basically, we need to copy and paste this code here, the execute block, and implement all the steps that are defined here. So basically, when you execute a block, you increment the system block number, then you check if the block that comes in the call is the right block, otherwise you return an error, and then you iterate over the block extrinsics, and then you increment the nonce for the caller, and then you dispatch each call, calling this dispatch function here, down here, that is defined, still not implemented, but yet we are going to execute the block by dispatching each and every extrinsic in the block. So let's copy and paste this code over here, and we are going to do it very, very step by step so you can understand. So, okay, so how do I increment a block system? Very simple. We already know how to increment the system's block number. We just call system self.system increment block number, because remember we already defined this function before when we created the system palette. So this first step checked, and it's very easy. Now we are going to check if the block number is the right one. So basically we will compare if the system block number is different from the header of the block number in the header. In this case, remember, the header has a block number. So this is the header, and if you look at the header struct, you have the block number. So basically, block, header, block number. And then if they are not equal, you just return an error. Okay, very simple as well. So this is the second thing we need to do. And then we are going to iterate over all the extrinsics in the block. So here in the lesson, you have this instruction. So how do we iterate through all the extrinsics? So this code here gives you the tip to do that. Basically, we are doing a for loop, and basically for each extrinsic that we transform into, because the extrinsic is a vector, we transform into an iterator. This is how we do this in Rust. And then we attribute each instance, each item inside the vector to this using this pattern match. So we already have the caller, and we also have the call. Yeah, in this case, we are going to use the call. We are going to call the dispatch within this method here. But before that, we have another thing that we can create here to make these calls enumerable. So instead of just iterating to the items, I want it to be enumerable, enumerate. So when I do this, I have two items in the for loop, the iteration number and the actual item. So in this way, I will be able to print what comes next here. So what do we do now? First, we increment self.system, increment nonce for the caller. Okay, increment nonce for the caller, check. And dispatch the extrinsic using the caller and the call. So basically, we have dispatch. The dispatch, it is located under here. Where is my dispatch? It's not here. I think I forgot to copy and paste the dispatch code. Let's copy and paste the dispatch code down here. We need this. Okay. Because we still don't have the dispatch. That's why I was not finding it. And I'm getting some errors here. Let me see why I have this error. Yes, I just found that the enum here is not public. We need to make it public. So we can access it here, and then I can, in this function, I can call the dispatch and caller and call. In this case, another thing that we need to tackle here is that if there's an error, we must raise the error. So the way we do this is by map error, doing the map error. So every time I run the dispatch, it's gonna return something. That just attributes to something that I won't use. And if there's an error, I'm going to print the error, and I'm going to print it in a very special way. I'm going to print it this way so we can have more information about the error, not just a simple print. We have the name of the extrinsic, the block number, and also the number inside, the iterator number here, in case the one that we use here. So basically, let's recall what we are doing here. We are iterating over all the extrinsics, and we are also enumerating them. So we have the number, so the first one, number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on, so we can print it later. And then we just dispatch, because each extrinsic has a caller and a call. So basically we extract the caller and we send them to the dispatch. And I think we've pretty done, I think we've done everything that was here in the instruction. So we can remove all this stuff and do stuff with caller and call, which we won't do right now. And this is pretty much everything we need to do in our lesson. So basically, we are not using this function yet. We are going to use it soon. But let me just format this file, because, oops, I just don't want to format document. Let's format it just to have it better indented here. So the execute block, so remember what we did. So let's recover everything. So first we created the extrinsic, the header, and the block type. Then we are creating the execute block function that receives a block, and then it will iterate through all the extrinsics within the block. It will increment the system block number and check if the block number in the block is the same, because if, for example, you're trying to execute block number 5, but you are in block number 7, it won't execute, it will raise an error, and then it will dispatch the calls to down here, which we are going to implement in next lessons, but this dispatch will basically route the call to the pallets, each different calls to different pallets, and this will be implemented later. And if there's an error, we are just printing the error here. So let me just do cargo run just to make sure I did not forget anything. And cargo test, everything is running smoothly. Okay, so let's go to the next lesson.